Welcome back to Final Fantasy V. Alright, so, what are the jobs today? We've got Mystic Knight. Of course, she starts with Spellblade, because that's the whole, class's gimmick. We've also got Summoner. Got some summoning on there. There may be a pattern here that you might be able to discern. Red Mage, of course, has, black magic as well as white magic. And... odd card out, Galuf, who's just a monk. That's just normal Galuf for a while.
I do wonder why they went with red for the color for that type of mage, and not a gray mage.
I guess they just wanted something to distinguish Red Mage in the NES version, maybe. It's just a fancier design, stands out a little more. Alright, so we've arrived on the fire-powered ship, which looks like a normal boat. Just a normal wood boat. However, once we go in, the ship's packed with monsters, cause of course it is. Alright, so, let's take a look at what this thing, looks like on its interior. Alright, normal wooden ship, any maps to pick up? I mean, there's one here, but I can't pick it up. If we go down, however, one more level, and, now it looks completely different. Alright, so here's our next dungeon. The fire-powered ship is a very complex area. We've got a bit of a maze going on, though this looks cool as hell. I love what they do with the background there, just putting you over the rest of the dungeon. That just looks neat. Honestly, kind of reminds me of Zelda Minish Cap and some of the stuff that does.
This guy's got an intimidating name.
It's me, the defeater. I'm going to defeat you. Oh no! 'Twas I who was defeated.
Oh, got another enemy. Oh no, more defeaters.
We saw what you did to our brother.
Alright, 3 defeaters. There's no way you can take out all of us. Also, here's Crew Dust here to flash you. Oh, you killed him. Honestly, fair.
Alright, so I am trying to conserve on magic a little bit. It's not too important, there are save points in the dungeon and all, but, you know, there's no reason to really go all out against defeaters. Despite the name, they're actually very easy. Despite whatever the fuck they're supposed to be. Oh, however, sometimes after you defeat enemies in this dungeon, we have Motor Trap. So, in most cases, you do not want to use electricity against them. However, I do want to take one out to make sure we're not, plagued by these guys. And let's just... use speed. However, I want to use Thunder, because when I do, he's actually going to counter with Self-Destruct. That did not do him a lot of damage because he didn't have a lot of HP left. That, however, is a blue mage spell, or blue magic, that's what they're normally called. So yeah, we have the ability to explode and die, doing the amount of our remaining HP as damage. As you might imagine, not a spell you're going to be using a lot. Unless you find it funny, in which you might, to be fair. It is hilarious.
Give him the old Shiatsu special.
Mm-hmm. Goodbye, Mr. Gallo. Also, I'd like to point out that the Poltergeist sprite is fucking horrifying. It's basically just a face with its skin torn off as another face.
Either that's a recolor, or I played a different Final Fantasy game recently and forgot about it.
We might have seen that guy on the ghost ship, and I don't remember if we commented on it. If we did comment on it, we probably said the same thing, but it bears repeating.
Yeah.
Those things are ghastly.
It's not any less fucked up.
Sometimes you wonder how they got away with this stuff on older systems. I guess nobody really pays attention to, like, the random enemies you fight throughout the game. To be fair, again, defeaters also kinda fucked up. I don't know what's going on with their body situation.
So, I remember when I played this game as a kid, being very underwhelmed conceptually by what they were using the fire crystal for. So like the wind tower is used to just control all the winds on the planet. Water tower like purifies seawater for human consumption. And then the fire crystal is on a boat. It powers a boat, but it's a big boat. And like the interior of it is massive and feels appropriate, but like why isn't this a factory?
I mean, to be fair, it is a ship that can move without the wind, which is handy now that the wind is broken. Though they did also mention that the fire crystal was used to just manufacture weapons as well.
Okay. So this is a boat with a factory underneath it. I guess my main issue is that, like, this boat appears to be going by iceberg rules. Like, it's way bigger below the surface where you can't see it. It should be big on top. It needs to look impressive.
It's one of those situations where they had a frame for it. The frame is a boat, but then they just made a dungeon, and it feels like they were just like, yeah, whatever, it can just look huge on the inside. There's no real rhyme or reason to this, so yeah, it's a bit weird. Moonring. Oh, Moonring Blade is helpful. We got the Thief's Glove back there, which is an item that or a relic that allows us to steal items more frequently. So put that on your thief. Not terribly useful just because there's not a lot to steal in this game, but definitely something you want. There will be points at which you can steal things, and they'll be very helpful. But those aren't for quite a while, really. And the Moonring Blade is a special weapon that can be thrown from the back row, so it's just a full power from the back row weapon. Not half bad. There's probably a lot of things that are way stronger than it by this point, but being able to attack from the back row is pretty good. Yeah, nobody can really use it either. Except Galuf, but why would I? I need to punch. Alright, so we get a quick heal right here. And we're not done with the dungeon yet, though. Oh, okay, so yeah, here we are at the big puzzle room of this dungeon. So we've got a whole lot of platforms that we need to move around. So it's just a matter of trial and error, just flip switches, see what they do, try to figure out how everything is supposed to come apart and go back together in this one. It's not too bad, but again, that's after like a few practice attempts and also having a guide. Alright, here we are in the boiler room. Hey, Queen Karnak, why are you just using the crystal to manufacture weapons and a boat that can kind of just do things that other nations can't? Are you doing a war? And what are you talking about with a revival? You don't need to be revived, you're fine. So that seems bad.
I was gonna ask, is this supposed to do that? Fire is normally bad, but it's a fire crystal. Oh no!
So say hello to Liquid Flame, especially if you're playing the vanilla version of Final Fantasy V. Say hi to your first wall. Liquid Flame is very strong. He's got a lot of different gimmicks, and of course, most importantly perhaps, he does just have the ability to set you on fire constantly. Now, the thing about Liquid Flame is, okay, so, at the beginning I was like, oh hey, everybody's got some kind of magic except Galuf. Technically speaking, everybody has Blizzard, and that is mostly kind of useful-ish. Except certain forms aren't actually that weak to ice. In fact, water is actually a better bet if you have that. You don't have that at this point, really. So yeah, Liquid Flame doesn't really have a lot of weaknesses at the moment. And again, has a bunch of different gimmicks. So it can also heal itself as well, in case things weren't bad enough. It's got its humanoid form, so it can be a Burning Man, it has a hand form, and it also has the tornado form, in which case it'll set itself on fire, thus healing itself. So obviously, don't set it on fire. Don't do that ever, or it will heal, no matter what form it's in. Which is why Dancer has been so useful, because I actually have been stealing its MP, and so all it's left with is, I guess, trying to change Bartz's row, and I don't think that works. Bartz is standing in the same spot. So, thank you, hack. Alright, and then let's see, it's also just got a lot of counters, basically. I think human form just counters... Oh yeah, it's basically just, one does blaze, one does fire, and then yeah, this one is just... I'm going to heal myself. But I punched it to death, because this ain't vanilla Final Fantasy V. I had some tricks up my sleeve. Gallop has the ability to dance, and therefore punch better.
Those damage numbers are disgusting for this point in the game.
Yeah, so remember how I said Swords Dance just does your weapon attack? Because when you are unequipped with a monk and just using your fists, you're just doing barehanded, that's 2 attacks. So Swords Dance is already a more powerful attack, but it does both hits of a barehanded strike. It is ludicrous at this point in the game. The ability to drain its MP also helped a lot. Okay, so, sorry Queen Karnak, about your whole situation, but we'll figure that out later. For now, Fire Crystal, it's A-okay. Alright, so Fire Crystal, we've had our differences. I think you produced a man made out of fire. I didn't appreciate that. And here's a Wolfman. Wolfman knows Gallop.
Look at that snout.
Wait, Bart's the Wolfman is talking. He's very calm. He's very concerned about Gallop. Oh, hey guard, how's it going? Good old trustworthy guard, you wouldn't do anything. Oh, well.
Set problems to on.
That seems bad. Oh no, the green aura. Well, it seems like somebody's been possessing these people and, they didn't need to stay in a single body, huh? I guess we probably should have been on the lookout for that one. Oh, and he just outright killed that body. That guy's just gone. No good, the switch is broken. Oh no, the Joy-Con drift.
I haven't set off, but it's still registering as on.
Wait, why are you sacrificing yourself, Wolf? Wolf, no. Alright, so this Wolfman is just physically preventing this vent from moving forward.
Please leave now! I'm doing a sacrifice! Leave! Go! Come on! This is incredibly painful! Unstoppable force meets unmoving object. I'm the unmoving object. This will probably kill me.
Alright, well, we have fucked up 3/4 of this mission, and there goes the Fire Crystal. And then the room just gets so hot that I guess the wolf dies, or maybe he just pushed so hard he just broke his whole ass body.
It is one unfortunate thing about tying the jobs to the crystal shards. It's now very obvious all these crystals are going to explode.
Surely one of these things will survive and just give us these jobs without needing the crystal corpses with us. Damn, that's brutal. Anyway, we can't get those crystal shards, though. Okay, so why is that a problem? Wait, what? Why is that happening? Fire's supposed to get worse now. Why is it going to explode? Okay, well, you automatically leave this area because, yep, we've got 10 minutes until detonation. So you can go back to that pot in the previous room and heal, but I'm not going to because I'm in a hurry. We've only got 10 minutes, and that is actually not a lot of time if you want to get all the items. Because all of the fire that was plaguing the nation is now gone, we're able to pick up these treasure chests, and some of them have monsters in them. So you can probably see where this is going.
Wait, hold on, it was a mimic, but we got the preemptive strike?
Yeah.
Is he asleep in the chest?
Yeah, he was taking a nap. It finally got nice and cool in that chest, and then we came along. I'm also defending here, which is definitely wasting time. However, Gigas does use Era, which is a very powerful spell, and now that I've learned that, let's kill him. So like I said before, you want to mark down all the locations, or, you know, make notes of them or whatever, all the locations of the chest in this castle so that you can just go around and grab them as soon as you can. Because we already have to deal with enemies in boxes and learning Era. You don't want to saddle yourself with the extra time of going, wait, was there a treasure over here? What about over here? Alright, and we've got sorcerers. They're not nearly as bad. They're certainly not as hardy as Gigas is. Gigai? Either way, though, I guess first thing I can mention while we're, looting Karnak Castle before it fucking explodes. Should note, of course, if you don't get these items now, they're gone forever. You don't want to miss that ribbon. Ribbon's a very good item that is a, first and foremost, extremely good stat boost across the board. It's, not a head item, it's a relic, I think. Actually, no, it might... Future me, which is it again? I don't have access to the menu screen, so I don't remember. But anyway, yeah, Ribbon's extremely good. Good stats, and also... it prevents you from receiving any kind of negative status effect. It completely blocks those. So... absolutely something you want, however, not something you're going to really get too many of. Because ribbons are not equipable by that many classes. You don't really have many instances of them being able to use that. There's a few here and there. I think typically it's the mage classes, but otherwise, don't expect to use this until you return to, the freelancer class. Guys, stop leveling up. We only have so long to live. Now, we've also got a shuriken. We'll figure out what that's supposed to be for later. But yeah, oh, we also do just have normal fights with sergeants and wolves. Anyway. Lost my train of thought while everything exploding, but yeah. There is an ability called Equip Ribbon on one of the classes, which is not great. Ribbon's a good item, but especially in vanilla Final Fantasy V, I don't know if I can really recommend giving up a whole ability slot just to equip ribbons. it's kind of just better to sync that into the "this is for freelancer" category and just leave it there. There are a number of reasons to use freelancers in the long run, though that's more of an endgame thing, and I'll mention more about that later when we're not about to explode. For now, though, finally getting back to the topic I wanted to bring up, music. So, in general, I don't think we've really mentioned the music too much in Final Fantasy V, but it's good.
Yeah.
It's Nobuo Uematsu, it's going to be good. The man just does good soundtracks, he's an excellent musician. And I don't think I really talk about the music that much in Final Fantasy. I can't really remember my previous LPs that much, but I don't remember talking about it that much, but yeah, no, it's Final Fantasy. It is often noted for its music, so no surprise here. But I wanted to bring up music because I think this is a good example of using songs where perhaps maybe they don't necessarily belong. This is a good song for short moments where something panic-inducing is happening. Oh, got another Elven Mantle, very nice. It's good for short moments. For an entire escape sequence, however, it is perhaps a little repetitive.
10 minutes of a panic attack.
Every once in a while I just think, is this song getting faster? But I don't think it does. Otherwise it would be unlistenable after like 4 minutes. It would just be a pitch by this point. But yeah, otherwise it is perhaps not the most appropriate, but it is one of those cases where they probably just did not really have enough dev time or interest to make one song for this moment in the game. Not to say there aren't, like, other set pieces, but I don't believe there's anything quite like this, where you would out-and-out need another song specifically for escaping.
There is one track in particular I'm looking forward to from this game.
Oh yeah, I'm sure it's the one everybody's looking forward to. By now I'm just mashing. Nope, I get it, I get items, I don't care, please. I've almost gotten down to 5 minutes.
You can pause if you really care that much.
Yeah, the nice thing is Gallop's been landing some swords dances, which is good.
Hey, has every chest been a monster attack?
Not all of them, but a pretty big majority of them. Anything with worthwhile items, I would say, probably has a monster in it. Alright, now we have this other tower section. Once we get done with this, though, we're clear of the big hurdle. But of course, it's a trap monster attack. And we've kind of just got the group. This is just basically all the enemies here.
I feel like you have rolled Mysterious Waltz so many times, and it's gotta be the least useful dance for this portion of the game.
Oh, absolutely. I need Swords Dance right now more than anything. I mean, Tempting Tengo's not really great either. I don't really need attacks of opportunity. I don't need these guys to fight each other because they don't really move that fast anyway. Main Gosh is a knife item that actually blocks attacks, which is pretty cool. It is, of course, as always, not the most powerful, but still very handy. We, of course, also got the Elven Mantle, which has a similar use, so somebody could have pretty high evasion if you stacked it right. Alright, before we can leave the castle, we do have a couple more chests at the sides here to get, and they are not ones you want to miss out on. Now, we get Esuna, which is a white magic spell that basically just heals any negative status effect. So, You can get that later on in the game if you miss it here, but you can get it here for free, and it's on the way out, so why not? Unless the castle is seconds from exploding, but if you're at that point, then you've really fucked up. Now, before you leave the castle, you do get a required fight here. Now, if I remember correctly, I think if you're low enough on time, a certain thing won't happen here. But also, if you kill that sergeant before you kill all of the Kernaks, you'll also miss out on this event. This guy's no ordinary soldier.
Show us your true form!
The famed bounty hunter Ironclaw.
More
Why do you look like that?
henshin!
This is me, everybody knows Ironclaw. And then I look like this.
Alright, so he's going to use an attack called Deathclaw, which I wanted to happen because you better believe that's a blue magic spell. It paralyzes a character and sets them to low HP.
Now we're getting Swords Dance.
Not the best numbers because Ironclaw does have a lot of defense, but it's still really good. It's still very good damage. Alright, 2 minutes on the clock still. Very nice. Alright, and Karnak Castle fucking explodes. Alright, well... that seems bad. Oh, the crystals survived the explosion, though. It's all good.
Crystal shards. Bart, stop thinking about Kirby.
I'm sorry. Just love that little guy. So, we get Beastmaster.
Bart, stop thinking about that movie. Sorry, I just love that movie.
Finally get Berserker.
Alright, to be fair, I'm also thinking about Berserk. Just how's the ending going to go?
Alright, who's thinking about Naruto for Ninja? Ferris fucking hates Naruto. It's just the pirate ninja thing.
Doesn't like One Piece, though. It's too long. Couldn't get into it.
Not accurate. Create unrealistic expectations for pirates.
Nobody I know can stretch out their arms. Alright, so, of course, now that the castle has exploded... yeah, everybody's talking about that, and also the fact that the fire crystal is gone. So like that guy says, now that they can no longer make weapons from the fire crystal, we still have the weapons available, but the price has gone up, so... if you wanted to buy items from these guys, before the fire-powered ship would have been the time to do that, because now they're pretty hefty. But I mean, I just got all that money, though. Well, we also heard that apparently there's a place called Jackal somewhere in the world that has some pretty good items too, so... guess we'll go find them. Now thankfully, the queen didn't die. She was in the boiler room, so they were able to get her out. Anybody who was in the castle portion, though, yeah, they're dead.
So I didn't get a chance to mention this earlier, but you mentioned the main gauche as a weapon that gave you defensive bonuses. That's because that is a type of parrying dagger that is not used defensively. It's just used to fuck up your opponent's attempts to stab you. Also, it's French, so you don't pronounce all those letters.
Fair enough.
According to, if I'm reading the IPA correctly, it's like Megouche or something, but
Megouche? I did not know that.
just drop the N. Why is it there? Fuck you.
Alright, but yeah, I guess to be fair, that is pretty accurate. So, you know, unlike a lot of things that Final Fantasy covers, like Ifrit or Shiva, they got that one mostly right.
Main Goshes are also in Suikoden, but they fucked it up, and like that's what the Mangosh is.
Man, gosh.
Also, I pulled up the Wikipedia page to double check myself. They have a picture of a different type of parrying dagger called a sword breaker. And I just fucking love this thing. It just has huge serrations. You catch your opponent's sword and they just snap it in half by rotating very quickly.
Yeah, seems pretty bad. So how's the queen doing?
She was one room away from a massive fucking explosion, but she's only a little hurt.
Alright, and apparently she is delirious, probably due to the possession and all. Alright, well then. I guess that's just about it, though. Other than, of course, the new jobs, we are done with the episode. Alright, Warriors of Light, we have once again kind of fricked it, so hopefully next time on Final Fantasy V we can do a little better than that. For now, however, it's time for the new jobs. So, first off, of course, in the vanilla version, the jobs you get here are Beastmaster, Geomancer, and Ninja. So we did not get Geomancer from this batch, but we did get Berserker instead. So first off, Beastmaster, right. Kind of a weird class, but definitely one it's got its uses. It's not a favorite of mine, though. Basically, its whole thing is that it can catch monsters if they're low enough on HP, and then when you release them on other enemies, they get a unique ability to do damage, or whatever.
It's one of those classes that's either... It's for the real freaks, and the real freaks will either decide that, oh, there's nothing really worth all this effort for, or they'll figure out how to break the game in half with it.
Yeah, it turns out if you actually catch this enemy, you can just destroy whatever you feel like.
If you catch this enemy, you can win Final Fantasy VI somehow.
The real draw for me for Beastmaster is the control command, which basically, if you are able to successfully pull off a control, not all enemies can be controlled, of course, and forget about bosses, you are basically just able to have them use a specific command from a list. Now, the thing that's really useful about this is, for the most part, a lot of enemy abilities can also just be controlled into a blue mage, so you don't necessarily always have to wait around for an enemy to just accidentally use it on the guy who wants to get owned. Sometimes you can do that on purpose. Either way though, interesting class. Best part about it, of course, is the design. Everybody just wears adorable sheep clothing and also like little skull pendants. It's adorable. Next off is the Geomancer, the one you won't be seeing yet in this hack, which is fine by me because Geomancer's a weird one. One of their big claims to fame is the ability to equip bells, which is... sure, okay. I guess that is something you can do. I wouldn't call it a draw, but whatever.
Oh, you can equip a chime? Ting!
But basically, the Geomancer's main thing is just... they manipulate land, which comes out as either their in-battle ability. Geomancers can just attack based on the environment, which is an ability that, once again, will appear in other games in the Final Fantasy series. But they also have good overworld abilities, too. If you're worried about pits or dangerous terrain, they do actually just have inherent abilities to just avoid that stuff, so... Similar to a thief, they have good traversal abilities. I don't know if I would say they're worth slots even in this version of the game, but if you're worried about traversal, in certain dungeons it can be useful. Alright, so before we actually get to the real final job, I'm just gonna mention Berserker. We got that in this hack. Normally you get it the water crystal, so to reiterate, Berserkers hit things very hard. They don't do anything but hit things very hard. There you go. Now to the actually exciting final job of the day, Ninja. So Ninja's just incredibly powerful. They're just easily some of the best damage-dealing classes in the game, for a number of reasons. They're very fast, They have an inherent dual-wielding ability, so you can just give them 2 weapons, and then much like the Monk's barehanded ability, they just attack twice in a turn. And look, that enough would be enough to sell me on the ninja, because that just sounds really cool. I mean, dual-wielding? Come on, nothing's cooler than dual-wielding, says 13-year-old me. However, that's not all. Ninjas also unlock the throw command, which, as it says, allows you to throw certain items. This just does a lot of fucking damage, just straight up. You have shurikens, which do powerful non-elemental damage, and then you have scrolls, like the thunder scroll we got earlier in the castle. If you throw that, that's just electric damage against enemies. Is it a lot of electric damage? Yes. So, throw is always an ability that I'm a little nervous to use just because it uses up resources, but you can buy items in certain locations. They are pricey, but you can stock up on stuff for the ninja. So as long as you're not too afraid of burning some inventory items, you can just do a ton of damage.
No, I didn't watch Naruto as a kid. I have no ninja opinions.